Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here with another recap. We're going to recap Fantasy Suites. Let's do it.
Yeah, they're in Antigua this week, which looks beautiful. I mean, we haven't traveled all season, so it's kind of nice to shake it up and get a new location, a new vibe in. I also just feel like when they go to these tropical places, everyone's like a little more relaxed, a little more romantic. So it's a good setting for Fantasy Suites.
Yeah, I kind of wish we would start the episode, instead of starting the episode off with Mel, Jesse, B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's actually start it off with the women in Antigua and see what they're doing. Let's go have a little walk. Let's take a walk around the block with them, see the sights a little bit, have them talk about how they're feeling.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And then
Joe.
cut back, because I'm just like, I don't need to watch 10 minutes of what the fuck went down this whole season.
Like the long recap.
I don't need the recap. I don't need the Jesse Mel talk quite yet. I want to see these women. I want to see their excitement. I want to know how they feel.
I like that suggestion.
You know?
I feel like even just Jesse on the beach with Peg being like, so walk us through your journey. Let's do a little 10-minute chat. How are you feeling? What are you looking for this week? And I know we get a little bit of that in their interviews, but I feel like going into depth more about that is more meaningful to me at this point than going back and seeing kind of a montage of their journeys. This season's not that long. I know what happened week one.
And send Peg and Cindy out on a walk together. Let them talk.
Oh, juicy. I love that.
Yeah, let's talk it out. How are you guys feeling right now?
Yeah, fair. I'm into that suggestion.
Thank you.
We start off with Peg. She's the first date of the episode, and they do a dune buggy date. What did you think? I thought it was fun. I feel like, dune buggy dates, we see them every season. Peg is definitely an adventurous risk taker. I mean, she was on the bomb squad. I feel like she's got to have a bit of adrenaline junkie in her.
Yeah, I tap out when I see a dune buggy. I see a helicopter. I see jumping in the ocean with stingrays.
A boat, sort of boat.
Nothing's gonna happen. that I'm gonna be like, okay, this is this is a big moment. I was gonna say what was it?
Monumental.
Monumental, but I'm like, that's totally the wrong word.
No, I know what you mean.
I have more interest in the dinner night portion and just that conversation opposed to dune buggy.
Well, in all the seasons, there's been 1 million dune buggy dates, and I don't think anything's ever really gone down on a dune buggy.
Yeah.
It's a visual cue to me that they're going to ride around. One person's going to drive slow. One person's going to drive fast. They're both going to talk about that in their interviews, and then they'll sit down and have a chat and talk about the dune buggy.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be Peg's, I'm driving fast, Mel drives slow.
But what do you think that revealed about maybe their personalities, their relationship, their compatibility?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that's. It would be different if Peg was fucking doing 360s and flying around and on top, and you were like, whoa, she's an adrenaline junkie. She is exports. This is what I love. But she's just driving a little fast on a dune buggy. Okay, so it's not that they're not that much different.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not going to be a deal breaker that she likes to drive fast and he likes to drive slow.
Yeah.
So Peg says she's worried that Mel might be emotionally unavailable because he deflects a lot when she asks him more personal, in-depth questions, which I think is something we've really seen from him with all the women all season. I wonder if that's something that they as a group have talked about. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if the women have earlier on, probably not later into the journey, been he kind of deflects a lot, eh? I'm trying to get stuff out of him and he's not really saying a lot. Or I wonder if they're usually very caught up in the beginning of being I want him to get to know me, that it is just something that they're now realizing I don't really know him.
Yeah, I think it happens more down the road with the women that have spent more time with him, and then they could start recapping the time they spent and okay, he's doing this and yada yada yada.
Yeah. So the dinner portion happens, and I will say, like, Mel does give her, like, such undivided attention. Like, he is both eyes on her, locked in on what she's saying, asking follow-up questions. It's more just when, like, the tables turn on to him, I feel like he kind of freezes up. But I do feel like he was the most vocal about his feelings that I've seen him this whole season with Peg. Like, I think his conversation with Jesse was important, where Jesse was like, you don't have to say I love you, but you can still say, like, I love this about you and this is how you make me feel. I think it's important that he does, and I was glad that he did.
I think Mel is the type of guy where if him and Peg at this point in the show were off camera and they were having a bottle of wine and they were relaxing, I think he's gonna talk a lot about his feelings, his emotions. He's probably throwing out I love yous. Like, I just think Mel is very aware of the situation he is in, and he's not going to let them.
What?
You okay? Your eyes are really bugging out.
I just
over
yawned,
there.
but I tried to hold it in.
I was like, Jesus, you should not have had
swallow
that big
my
of a
yawn.
coffee.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's kind of what I think.
The morning after, oh my God, I feel like such a tone switch. I was whoa, you guys definitely got a little freaky last night.
We saw a different side of Mel. That was the first time. I mean, he was giggling.
Oh my gosh, she was blushing. I was like, this is so cute. What happened last night? I feel like Mel was so giddy. He was so relaxed. He's like in his jeans, laying on the bed, shirtless. Like, but I feel like he did say during the dune buggy date, like he was talking about Peg, and he was like, there was definitely like a sexual attraction.
Yeah, because he was like,
he hasn't really expressed.
Yeah, he was like, like her sweaty and her hair all over the place.
No, but it was cute.
Yeah, but he's like that. She's my type.
Yeah, he was like, I'm into her. I'm sexually attracted to her. Yeah. Like, she looks beautiful. She looks great. Her curly hair. Like, he's definitely attracted to her. And I was like, okay, that's important. And I think that's great. I mean, she's beautiful for sure. But I'm always just looking for more out of Mel. So just hearing that, I was like, okay, you really like her. And then just seeing how they were in the morning, I was like, this is the most relaxed and soft I've seen either Peg or Mel. Like, they both seem really happy.
I thought it was going to be Debbie.
Yeah.
But I really, after Mel's conversation with Peg's daughter and him choosing Peg was a massive, like, was the sign of, like, I'm really into Peg. Because she was like, her daughter, which, like, good for her, was kind of like, I don't know if I fucking trust you. I don't know if I like what you're saying. Like, I'm kind of like, this is, I'm calling bullshit. And he didn't like, and he was.
Well, if there was a time to send Peg home, if it wasn't going to be her, that would have been the week. He would have sent her home. And I think he would have been like, this daughter is catching wind that I'm maybe not that into her mom. Time to go, Peg.
Yeah.
So the fact that he kept her that week is just a show of dedication to her, in my opinion.
I agree. That's what I think.
But yeah, it was cute seeing them in the morning. Yeah, just like, I feel like it was all good. Like 10 out of 10 fantasy suite date. Nothing really seemed to go wrong. They had like in-depth conversations at night. I think they had a great fantasy suite, whatever that means. And the morning, everything's good. Like, no complaints.
A+. A+.
A++.
Makes sense why that was shown first.
Makes sense why that was shown first. Definitely not as juicy as Cindy's, even though I would say Cindy and Peg both went into their dates feeling kind of the same. Like, they both expressed they wanted to get more out of Mel in terms of how he's feeling and where he's at.
Yeah.
Their goals were the same, but execution played out differently. So Cindy has the Stingray date. I've done this before, the Stingrays. Have you done it?
No, and never will.
You never will?
I have no desire unless somebody's going to pay me. Like, I'll do it. I will do it for money. just throw that out there. In case any brand dealers are
affiliated with Stingrays
out there, I will do it for money, but I will never do it for fun.
What about it does not appeal to you?
I just wouldn't want it. Like, nothing appeals to me. Like, I don't care to go underwater with goggles and look at fish.
Yeah, you're not really a water adventure guy.
No. No. I mean, I enjoyed like surf lessons. Like that's fun. I enjoy like somewhat of like a water sport workout, but like
you don't want to interact with the creatures of the sea.
Zero interaction with them.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing.
I did swimming at the Stingrays one time. I don't remember how old I was. Not that old. I want to say I was maybe like 10 or 11. I am someone that's very comfortable in the water, and I remember it took me like 15, 20 minutes to like get in the water because they were like, you have to keep your feet planted on the ground because if you don't, they will potentially swim under you. And if you like step on one of them, you're going to potentially anger one. And as a small child, I was like, well, one big wave could be a game changer for me and my feet on the ground versus off the ground.
Well, I thought I thought that this was like in the middle of the ocean where it's like fucking 30 feet deep. How deep is this?
No, you could stand.
Oh, I didn't know.
They were standing.
Oh, I was zoned out.
Okay, well,
I told you, you know, those dates I kind of zone out a little.
Well, you could see Cindy was like super into it, but I sympathize with Mel's hesitation, honestly, because those things are big and they're kind of scary and they look like dinosaurs.
Yeah, like I don't need to be in the middle of the ocean. I don't need to be on a 40-foot fucking cliff. Like I don't like heights.
Nope.
I don't need to be in the middle of the ocean. I don't need to be like, you know, like a safari. You know, I don't. No, thank you.
You're a city boy.
Well, it's because animals, whether or not we want to admit this or not, are unpredictable.
Yes.
You know, like I love dogs, but like that's it. Like I don't need to like be like, oh, let's go look at the lions. Like no fucking thank you, because what's gonna happen when if all of a sudden, you know, 10 of them roll up on you, you're done. You're dead.
Yeah, probably.
And it's not going to be like a nice death. Like it's awful.
But these people do this for a living. I mean, you heard the guy say he's been doing it for 25 years. No one ever been stung before.
Sure. But they also do, like you're going to tell me like if 10 of those stingrays get together and they're like attack, those guys that have been doing it forever are going to know how to handle that situation. There's no way. They're going to freak out too. They're going to run. They're going to swim away, and I'm going to get 1,000 stingrays in me for what? So I had a nice 10 minutes underwater looking at them. I'll watch it on the YouTube.
You really just sounded like your dad when you said that you'd watch it on YouTube.
I will.
Okay, so no stingrays for Joe and Mel. Cindy and I will take charge of the stingrays. I commend Mel for giving it a try, and I commend Cindy for, you know, being patient and kind of trying to ease his nerves and make him as comfortable as possible. I think that's all you can do in that situation with your partner, frankly, is do your best to make them feel comfortable, supported. I think it's good to push your partner a little bit outside their comfort zone, but I also don't think Mel, again, needs to like live for swimming at the stingrays for their relationship to work. So like if he doesn't want to do it, like no shade to him. Like I'm all for people saying like, I know I'm on a show and I know this is the date activity that I've been told I have to do today, but I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to. Yeah,
I mean, like if that was you and I would have looked at you before we went in the water and been like, just so you know, I don't want to do this, and since we are doing this, it's every man for themselves in there. We're not going to be having conversation. Like I'm in there, I'm surviving. I'm surviving on my own. I'm in there. I'm paying attention to what's happening underneath me. I'm going to get back up. We're going to get on this boat. I'm going to be nauseous because we're in the middle of the ocean. And hopefully we have a good dinner.
Yeah, fingers crossed we have a good dinner. Well, they didn't have a great dinner, unfortunately. It seemed like it wasn't a bad dinner, but it was more serious. The tone of the evening was definitely more serious. We end up on a cliffhanger.
Mistake.
What do you mean mistake?
I think it's a mistake. I think
What do you think is a mistake?
Cindy's
Cindy.
approach to dinner, in my opinion, is a mistake. I understand what she's doing, and I get it. But if she really wanted to be with Mel, I just think, why not wait till the cameras are off in the fantasy suites where you could really push them and actually get a real answer?
Yeah. And I mean, maybe they'll head to fantasy suites and have a more in-depth conversation. I have no problem with Cindy pushing Mel. I don't think that's a problem. I think at this point she has every right to do so. And I think that if that's truly her person, like there's nothing she can say in terms, I mean, obviously she's going about this in like the most considerate, respectful manner in terms of asking important questions. So like there is nothing she can say, in my opinion, in this fashion that is going to like change his mind about her, push him away from her, if that is truly the person she's meant to be with. So I'm all for her asking the hard questions, but I do agree with you. Like you're this close to fantasy suites. Like you're right there. If you're going to get the most open and honest answers from him, it's going to be in the fantasy suites. So I think it's okay to like maybe tee up that conversation, but I think now is the time to wait until the cameras are gone, and then if the conversation doesn't go the way you want, then there you go. But you're going to miss a large portion of the information you could have gotten by doing this with him on camera based on how he has responded on camera in the past.
Yeah, and I think his response to me was very much like you're second. You're in second place.
You think?
Yeah, that's how it reads to me.
I don't know if I got that.
Yeah, I do. I'm picking that up because I just feel like, I feel like if Peg came at him the same way, there would have been a little more. There would have been a little more like, don't freak out. Like
it's gonna be okay. Reassurance.
Yeah. And to me, I feel like he's kind of like, in a way, like, yeah, I'm not choosing you.
Well, I think they both feel the same, which is that they're on two separate pages. Like I think that Mel feels like Cindy is way ahead of him emotionally and way more comfortable taking a serious step forward in their relationship. And I think Cindy feels that too. I think she's like, I'm way ahead of you emotionally and I'm way more comfortable taking a serious step. So they're just in two different places. I don't feel that Peg and him are necessarily in two different places as much as I think that Peg wants a little bit more out of him. I think she's looking for less than Cindy is right now. Cindy kind of calls him out and says, you don't really have any questions for me. So like, what's holding you back? How do you feel about me? Like, I think Cindy's like, let's get to that point. And if you need time and information to get to that point, like ask me some questions, like, let me help you.
Yeah. That's never good in like if you're about to take like the next step in a relationship and your partner's like, well, you don't really have any questions for me. And then like, there's no question followed up with that. You're kind of like, okay.
Or maybe he just thought
fucking you don't care.
But maybe he did have questions for her and he's just like, I don't want to ask these right now. Like, let's wrap this up so I can read the fantasy suite card so we can go talk off camera.
Yeah.
You know, like I think the leads specifically, and a lot of times the contestants go into that date being like, well, I'm going to save the good stuff for when we're in the fantasy suites because this is the date we've all been waiting for where we can really get into it and be 100% honest with each other.
They need a producer in there like, yo,
enough.
Open up.
Oh, to Mel?
Yeah, speak. Say exactly how you feel right now, and then walk off camera, because we are definitely not like, yeah, like I want him to like be brutally honest at this point.
I think he is being brutally honest. If I'm being,
I
think he is. I think he's basically saying, I'm not in love with you, and I don't know if I'm gonna propose, and I don't know if I'm ready to propose.
He keeps kind of like these things take time, right?
Yes, but you know what was really interesting to me is, and I don't know if maybe this was said and we just missed it, but a big part of Cindy and Mel's conversation was the fact that Mel took a really long time to get married when he was married the first time.
Yeah,
and she was like, I know it took you a long time, and I know you spent a lot of time thinking about it because you wanted to be 100% sure. And sure, you were, but you still ended up divorced. So, like, why do you need that this time around? Like, there's always going to be that risk, which, you know, I can see both sides of that argument.
But he also said, like, yeah, I ended up divorced, but we were still together for 25 years.
I want to know how long it took Mel to get married. Like, are we talking 2 to 3 years, or are we talking like 10 to 15 years? And how old was he when he got married? Like, I want to know more about that. I also want to know why the heck he got divorced. Like, well, I need to know these things.
Is a marriage categorized as unsuccessful if it ends in a divorce, no matter how long the marriage is?
I think it's different depending on who you ask. Like, if someone's together for 25 years and they had, 20 out of those 25 years were good and there was a lot of love there and they raised 2 beautiful children together, like that's a successful marriage to me.
Well, then why'd they get divorced?
Well, it doesn't always, 25 years is a long time to be with someone. Maybe they were just like, I can't stand you anymore. This was enough. We had our expiry date and it's now.
So, yeah, but like, so we don't know. Like there is no yes or no to my question.
Is your question like, is there an objective, clear answer to what a successful marriage looks like versus a non-successful marriage?
If a marriage ends in divorce,
yeah,
no matter the situation, was it successful or not successful?
I think
if we stamp it, if it's a big binder,
yeah,
Joe and Serena's marriage, at the end of our lives, if we're divorced, is that stamped unsuccessful or successful?
My personal answer is that it's nuanced and there's not like a yes or no, but I think most people would say unsuccessful. I think if you're just trying to like simplify it to a successful or unsuccessful, if the marriage ends, I think most people would say it gets stamped unsuccessful. I think that's such a cynical way of looking at it.
What if we were married for 1 year and got divorced, but 8 months were great, and then the last 4?
Well, why did the last 4 go so south?
I don't know, but is that success or unsuccess?
I think that's probably unsuccess. Like that's
it's only a year.
That's pretty quick,
Yeah,
because when that happens, you're like looking at it being like, well, maybe we shouldn't have gotten married in the first place.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think in order for it to be labeled a success by these people that are stamping the binder, it has to be I think minimum 10 years.
Okay. Do you think anything under 10 years is a failure of a marriage? 10 years is a long time, though.
If it ends in divorce. So that's what I'm saying. So like if we were married for 5 years and we got divorced, maybe our relationship, but like our marriage is kind of unsuccessful.
I guess. I mean, it's a dark question you're posing.
Yeah.
But I guess.
I mean, there's going to eventually be a time where I think marriage may become obsolete.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, less and less people are getting married and having children.
Yeah, I think we're trending that way already. I mean, I don't think it's going to be in our time, but I do think eventually you probably won't see marriages.
I think that the incentive for people that aren't religious and believe in the construct of marriage as like a holy act, I don't know if that's the right phrasing, but you get what I'm saying. I think the motivation is taxes.
You don't save that much.
You don't think?
No.
I guess then like custody of children. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure marriage plays a role in that.
Well, I guess marriage plays a role in children. Yeah. Going back to The Bachelor. Circling back.
Okay, what do you think of Cindy and Mel's conversation, and where do you think that this is heading?
I mean, the way it ends, their conversation, it was very bleak. It really just seemed like they were both not happy with each other and not happy with the situation. And I feel like it's also harder because you're texting right now.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find.
This is becoming an unsuccessful marriage.
I'm trying to find. I'll tell you what I'm doing. As much as I am listening to, I'm trying to find what our predictions were for this season. This
is what I will say. Right now, after watching that, I would be so shocked if he picked Cindy.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen now, unless we were left on a cliffhanger and the whole conversation is about the shift.
Do you think that this conversation made up his mind potentially, or do you think that he's always kind of known it's potentially going to be Peg? Because I have felt him to be quite torn in his decision making. I've gone back and forth. Like, I'm not sure if Mel knows what he's going to do yet.
I think it's been Peg for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's been Peg for a long time.
Okay.
And I think Cindy has been his number 2 for a long time.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, I'm curious to see how this unfolds.
So we have our predictions that we make at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
We make these predictions before the first episode airs, right?
I think what we did was we each picked 3 from the cast photos, and then we each picked 1 after the first episode.
Okay.
So off of the cast photos, Joe had picked Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Great pick.
Thank you.
Mylene, who I think went home
Pretty quick.
Roxanne,
Oh,
who also went home pretty quick. And then your pick after night 1 was Peg.
nice.
And then for me, off of cast photos, I had Debbie, Carol, Jerry. So all my girls did pretty well, actually. And my pick after night 1 was Cindy,
Wow.
which is wild. We each after night 1 picked the final 2.
Yeah, you really need that night 1.
Well, yeah, going off of the headshots and the
We're just
bios, I
guessing,
mean, you're
yeah.
straight up just guessing.
Yeah.
Night 1 gives you so much more to go off of, but like, still, I'm impressed that each of us picked the final 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed too. We've officially watched the show way too many times.
Truly, honestly.
like if you want to know who's going to be at the end, just listen to our predictions.
Yeah, we're probably right.
I think you'll be able to, because she's, not part of the franchise. She's coming from a different show. Do you think we're going to be able to figure it out with Taylor, Frankie, Paul?
I think that'll be harder.
I think it'll be harder
because
too.
we don't know. Like when they cast,
Well, we have a lot more information on her if you watch the Mormon wives. Or
That's
whatever.
true. That's true, actually. You know what it is? The prediction comes from us having watched an episode 1 so many times that something in the edit is cluing us that this person's going far. We just don't even know it.
Oh, I know it.
No, I'm saying it's like second nature for us to pick up on some of the things I don't even realize I'm picking up on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like obviously we read into something that they were trying to tell us.
Okay, I think that's basically a recap. I mean, honestly, there's only 2 women, so there's not much more we could even talk about.
Yeah, I think the big episode's coming up. It's the finale. We're gonna see how this conversation with Cindy unfolds. Looks like Jesse and Mel have a conversation. Peg and Mel have a conversation. If things go well, someone, if not both of them, are going to be meeting his family. So that'll be exciting to see his sons come into play. I'm excited to see him interact with his sons. That'll be good. And we'll see how this whole journey ends.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
We have new and exclusive recaps and interviews coming your way. We also have Joan on the podcast to give us all of her thoughts later this week. So be sure to tune into that. Thanks for listening. Bye.